Hi everyone, it's Brave here again. I just wanted to read two poems by the amazing Jamaican poet who was born way back in 1889 and he died in 1948. But his name is Claude Mckay, and he used to write many sonnets, and he moved from Jamaica to Harlem in America, and he was one of the biggest influences of the Harlem Renaissance in regards to poetry. And because I have some Jamaican family in my mum's family, because I'm from a mixed background, but the Jamaican side influenced me the most. And so I'm really proud of this poet, and I like to speak two of his poems that stood out to me. And he spoke out against the injustice of racism, obviously in America, especially the oppression of people with African ancestry, and obviously being from Jamaica is a much smaller place. And yes, there's prejudice there, but it's different. In America, it's much more severe and different. So let me just read these. So the first one is "If We Must Die," and here goes. If we must die, let it be not like hogs, hunted and penned in an inglorious spot, while round us bark the mad and hungry dogs, making their mock at our accursed lot. And the second poem is more of two sonnets actually. So the second one is called "The White House." Your door is shut against my tightened face, and I am sharp as steel with discontent. But I possess the courage and grace to bear my anger proudly and unbent. Now, the reason these two stood out to me is because me, as a mixed person with mixed ancestry, I've experienced racism. And to me, the first one really stood out to me, "If we must die," because in my mind, if anyone comes after me and wants to hurt me or harm me, I'm going down fighting. No one's going to harm me or touch me without me, fighting back. And if I must die, I'm going to give you the biggest fight you've ever had on your hands. And we're both going to probably die, unless you have a huge advantage over me, So that really stood out to me, because I can totally resonate with that. I wouldn't be a person thinking, oh no, they've got the upper hand. I'd be like, even if I'm not going to win, I'm going to go out fighting. And also the second one, where it's talking about how, you know, people with African ancestry, every door was shut in their face, basically. But so many of them kept their dignity in the face of such terrible treatment, such atrocity, and so that stood out to me as well. The fact that the way he worded it was very relatable. And also, he spoke about that difficult position most people are in. If you think about people from black ancestry, their ancestors being forcibly taken to another country, which is not their ancestral home, but then their ancestral home, they're not allowed to reconnect with that place. And then so much time passes on that they develop their own culture, as in the Black American culture, African American culture, and then they feel so disconnected from their ancestral homeland that a lot of them don't want to relate to black Africans, and then even black Africans from Africa don't relate to the black Americans. And then the black Caribbeans, we have a little bit of a closer connection to our African ancestors because we it's such a smaller place. So there wasn't as much. I wouldn't say there wasn't a huge attempt to take away our African ancestry. My ancestors' African ancestry, there was, but I think in America it was more consistent. The idea that if you break people's spirit and make them feel worthless, they won't even connect to each other, so they won't rise up, even if the black people outnumber the oppressors. If they're psychologically brainwashed to think that they're not good enough, and that their people are worthless, they won't even band together. So that's, a lot of the problems within our community is just the feeling that we're not connected. Everyone feels like they're in their little tiny groups and they don't even look out for each other or love each other. And that's really, really painful. I find that really painful. I've experienced firsthand, witnessed firsthand how my own people will tear down their own people, insult their own people, hold back from helping their own people. But they'll help other races of people, but not their own, So it's very, very sad. But yeah, I'm going to try and read more poems by Maya Angelou and Langston Hughes and other black poets and stuff like that, because it is really important to never forget the atrocity of slavery, the atrocities of the loss of freedom and civil rights and things like that. And even though, yes, people have fought for a lot more freedoms and civil rights, but the world still tries to convince people that people with African ancestry are not worthy, which is not true, And even when we achieve amazing things, it's almost like people say, oh, it's a fluke, as if to say, it's like, it's just luck or something, like you're not actually intelligent or you're not actually capable en masse of, creating or doing great things or achieving great things. And that's bull. So yeah, it's very, these things very close to my heart. Like it's very painful to me to see how even in 2024 people still want to convince the world that people from certain backgrounds are not, their life is not worth living. And that disgusts me. It angers me so much. So yes, anyway, that's it. But God bless everyone. I wish everyone peace, love and protect. Sorry, I wish everyone peace, love and protection, no matter what race you are. Race is not important. We are all beings, energetic beings, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And when you die and go home to the spirit world where we came from in the first place, there is no race, there is no black, white, gay, straight, all those labels that are put on us when we're here, or that we put on ourselves when we're on earth plane, don't matter, because when we go to the spirit world, we are just energy and love and light. And so it's really hard. We really do have to try harder to fight against the evil of this world, as in people trying to hurt other people. We all have to live and let live. Whatever labels people want to choose down here, let them be free and let them live however they want, as long as they're not hurting anyone. We have to just live and let live, because when we do go home to the spirit world, none of these worldly things even have any bearing up there. It's not, not trying to say they're not important to people when they're down here, but the main thing that we're supposed to be focusing on is helping each other, fighting against evil. It's meant to be good against evil. But anyway, that's all from me. Bye for now.